Reading in the book of Proverbs of chapter 3. Guidance for Young. My son, do not forget my law, but let your heart keep my commands. For length of days and long life and peace they will add to you. Let not mercy and truth forsake you. Bind them around your neck and write them on the tablet of your heart, and so find favor and high esteem in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil, and it will be healed to your flesh and strengthened to your bones. Honor the Lord with your possessions and with the first fruit of your increases. So your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be overflow with the new wine. My son, do not despise the chastening of the Lord, nor detest his correction. For whom the Lord loves to his correct, just as a father the son in whom he delights. Happy is the man who finds wisdom, and the man who gains understanding, for her proceeds are better than the profits of silver, and her gain than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things you may desire cannot compare with her. Length of days is in her right hand, in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is tree of life to those who take hold of her, and happy are all who retain her. The Lord by wisdom founded the earth, by understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths were broken up, and clouds dropped down the dew. My son, let them not depart from your eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, so they will be life to your soul and grace to your neck. Then you will walk safely in your way, and your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. Yes, you will lie down, and your sleep will be sweet. It's a nice verse for you if you can't able to have a sleep. Chapter 3, verse 24. Chapter 25. Do not be afraid of sudden terror, nor a trouble from the wicked when it comes. For the Lord will be your confidence, and will keep your foot from being caught. Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due, when it is in the power of your hand to do so. Do not say to your neighbor, go and come back, and tomorrow I will give it, when you have it with you. Do not devise evil against neighbor, for he dwells by you for safety's sake. Do not strive with a man without cause if he has done you no harm. Do not envy the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the perverse person is an abomination to the Lord, but his secret counsel is with the upright. The curse of the Lord is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the home of the just. Surely he scorns the scornful, but gives grace to the humble. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the legacy of fools. Proverbs chapter 4. Security and wisdom. Hear, my children, the instruction of a father, excuse me, and give attention to no understanding. For I give you a good doctrine, and do not forsake my law. When I was my father's son, tender and only one in the sight of my mother, he also taught me and said to me, let your heart retain my words, and keep my commands and live. Get wisdom and get understanding. Do not forget nor turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not forsake her, and she will preserve you. Love her, and she will keep you. Wisdom is the principal thing, Therefore get wisdom, and in all your getting get understanding. Exalt her, and she will promote you. She will bring you honor when you embrace her, and she will place you on your heart an ornament of grace, a crown of glory, and she will deliver to you. Hear, my son, and receive my saying, and the years of your life will be many. I have taught you in the way of wisdom. I have led you in the right path. When you walk, your steps will not be hindered, and when you run, you will not stumble. Take firm of instruction, and do not let go. Keep her, and she is your life. Do not enter the path of the wicked, and do not walk in the way of evil. Avoid it, and do not travel on it. Turn away from it, and pass it on. For they do not sleep unless they have devil evil, and their sleep is taken away unless they make someone fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine of the violence. But the path of the just is just like a shining sun, that shines ever brighter unto the perfect days. The way of the wicked is like darkness, and they do not know what makes them stumble. My son, give attention to my words, incline your ear to my saying, and do not let them depart from your eyes. Keep them in your midst of your heart, for they are life to those who find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it spring issues of life. Put away from you a deceitful mouth, and put perverse lips far from you. Let your eyes look straight ahead, and your eyelids look right before you. Ponder the path of your feet, and let your ways be established. Do not turn to the right or the left. Remove your foot from evil. That is chapter 4 of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 5. The peril of adultery. My son, pay attention to my wisdom, and lean your ear to my understanding, that you may preserve discretion, and your lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of an immoral woman drip honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end she is bitter as a wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Sorry about that. Her step lays hold of hill, lest you ponder her path of life. Her ways are unstable. You do not know them. Therefore, hear me now, my children, and do not depart from the words of my mouth. Remove your way far from her, and do not go near the door of her house, lest you give your honor to others and your ears to the cruel one, lest aliens be filled with your wealth, and your labors go to the house of the foreigners. And you mourn at last, when your flesh and your body are consumed, and says, how I have hated instruction, and my heart despised correction. I have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ears to those who instructed me. I was on the verge of total ruin in the midst of the assembly and congregation. Drink water from your own cistern, and running water from your own well. Should your fountains be dispersed abroad, streams of water in the streets, let them be only your own, and not for strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of your youth. As a loving deer and a graceful dew, let her breast satisfy you at all times, and always be enraptured with her love. For why should you, my son, be enraptured by the immoral woman, and be embraced in the arms of a seductress? For the way of a man are before the eyes of the Lord, and he ponders all his paths. His own iniquities entrap the wicked man, and he is caught in the cords of his sin. He shall die for lack of instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray. Chapter 6, Proverbs chapter 6, Dangerous Promises. My son, if you become surety for your friend, if you have shaken hands and plead for a stranger, you are snared by the words of your mouth. You are taken by the words of your mouth. So do this, my son, and deliver yourself, for you have come into the hand of your friend. Go and humble yourself, plead with your friend. Give no sleep to your eyes, nor slumber to your eyelids. Deliver yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, and like a bird from the hand of the fowler. The folly of indolence. Verse 6. Go to the ant and your sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no captain, overseer or ruler, provides her supply in the summer, and gathers her food in the harvest. How long will you slumber, O sluggard? When will you rise from your sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands of the sleep. So shall your poverty come on you like a fowler, and your need like an armed man. A worthless person, a wicked man, walk with a perverse mouth. He winks with his eyes, he shuffles his feet, he points with his fingers. Perversity is in his heart, he devises evil continually. He sows discord. Therefore his calamity shall come suddenly, and suddenly he shall be broken without remedy. The 6 things that the Lord hates, yes, 7 are the abomination to him: a proud look, a lying tongue, hands and shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that are swift in running to evil, a false witness who speaks lies, and one who sows discord among brethren. Be aware of the adultery. Verse 20, still in chapter 6. My son, keep your father command, and do not forsake the law of your mother. Always obey your father and your mother. Bind them continually upon your heart. Tie them around your neck. When you roam, they will lead you. When you sleep, they will keep you. And when you awake, they will speak with you. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law of the light. Reproof of instructions are the way of the life, to keep you from the evil woman, from the flattering tongue of a seductress. Do not lust after her beauty in your heart, nor let your allure with her eyelids. For by means of a harlot, and a man is reduced to a crust of bread, and an adulteress will prey upon his precious life. Can a man take fire to his bosom, and his clothes not be burned? Can one walk in a hot coals, and his feet not be seared? So is he who goes in it his neighbor's wife. Whoever touches her shall not be innocent. People do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy himself when he is starving. Yet when he is found, he must restore sevenfold. He may have to give up all the substance of his house. Whoever commits adultery with a woman lack of understanding. He who does so destroy his own soul. Once and dishonor he will get, and his reproach will not be wiped away. For jealousy is a husband's fury. Therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will accept no recompense, nor will be appears through you, though you give many gifts. Proverbs chapter 7. My son, keep my words and treasure my commands within you. Keep my commands and live, and my law as the apple of your eyes. Bind them on your fingers and write them on your tables of your heart. Say to wisdom, "You are my sister," and call understanding your nearest kin. That way keep you from the immoral woman, from the seductress who flatters with her words. For at the window of my house I looked through my lattice, and saw among a simple, a fair seed among the youth, a young man devoid of understanding, passing along the street near her corner, and he took the path of her house, in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. And there a woman met him, with the attire of a harlot and a crafty heart. She was loud and rebellious. Her feet would not stay at home. At times she was outside, at times in an open square, lurking at every corner. So she caught him and kissed him. With an impudent face she said to him, "I have peace offering with me. Today I have paid my vows. So I came out to meet you, diligently to seek your face, and I have found you. I have spread my bed with tapestry, colored covering of Egyptian linen. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love until morning, and let us delight ourselves with love. For my husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey, and he has taken a bag of money with him, and will come home in the appointed day." With her enticing speech she caused him to yield. With her flattering lips she seduced him. Immediately he went after her, as an ox goes to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction to the stocks. Till an arrow struck his liver, as a bird hastens to the snare. He did not know it would cost his life. Now therefore listen to me, my children. Pay attention to the words of my mouth. Do not let your heart turn aside to her ways, and do not stray into her paths. For she was cast down, many wounded, and all who were slain by her were strong men. Her house is the way to hell, descending to the chambers of death. Proverbs chapter 8. Does not wisdom cry out, and understanding lift up her voice? She takes her stand on the top of the high hill, beside the way where the paths meet. She cries out by gates, at the entry of the city, at the entrance of the door. To you, O man, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. O you simple ones, understand prudence, and you fools, be of an, be of an understanding heart. Listen, for I will speak of excellent things, and from the opening of my lips will come right things. For my mouth was speak truth, wickedness and abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are with righteousness. Nothing crooked or perverse is in them. They are all plain to him who understands, and right to those who find knowledge. Receive my instruction, and not silver, and knowledge rather than the choice of gold. For wisdom is better than the rubies, and all the things one may desire cannot be compared with her. A wisdom dwell with the prudence, and find out knowledge and discretion. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogance and evil way, and the perverse mouth I hate. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding, and I have strength. By me kings reign, and rulers decree justice. By me prince ruler and nobles, all the judges of the earth. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently will find me. Nice words. Riches and honor are with me, enduring riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, yes, than fine gold. and my revenue than choice silver. I traverse the way of the righteousness in the midst of the paths of justice, that I may cause those who love me to inherit wealth, that I may fill their treasures. The Lord possessed me at the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I have been established from everlasting, from the beginning, before there was ever an earth. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains abounding with water, before the mountains were settled, before the hills I was brought forth, while as yet had not made earth for the fields, or the primal dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he drew a circle on the face of the deep, when he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the fountain of the deep, when he assigned to the sea its limit, so that the waters would not transgress his command. When he marked out the foundation of the earth, then I was beside him as a master craftsman, and I was daily his delight. Rejoice always before him, rejoice in his inhabitant world, and my delight was with the sons of men. Now therefore listen to me, my children, for blessed are those who keep my ways. Hear instruction and be wise, and do not disdain it. Blessed is the man who listens to me, and watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors. For whoever finds me finds life, and obtains favor from the Lord. It's a nice verse. But he who sins against me wrong his own soul. All those who hate me love death. Chapter 9 of Proverbs. Wisdom has built her house. She was hew out her servant pillars, and she was slaughtered her meat, and she was mixed her wine, and she has also furnished her table. She has sent out her maidens. She cries out from the highest place of the city. Whoever is simple, let him turn in her. As for him who lacks of understanding, she says to him, Come out, come, eat of my bread, and drink of my wine I have mixed. Forsake foolishness, and live, and go in the way of understanding. He who corrects a scoffer gets shame for himself, and he who rebukes a wicked man only harms himself. Do not correct a scoffer, lest they hate you. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love you. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will still be wise. Teach a man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For by me your will days be multiplied, and years of life will be added to you. If you are wise for yourself, and if you are slow, you will bear it alone. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and know nothing. For she sits at the door of her house, on a seat by the highest place of the city, to call to those who pass by, who go straight on their way. Whoever is simple, let him turn in her. And as for him who lacks of understanding, she says to him, Stolen water is sweet, but bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he does not know that the dead are there, that her guests are in the depths of hell. Danger. Proverbs chapter 10. A wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish son is the grief of his mother. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivered from death. The Lord will not allow the righteous soul to famish, but he casts away the desire of the wicked. He who has a slack hand becomes poor, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. He who gathers in summer is a wise son. He who sleeps in a harvest is a son of caused shame. Blessings are on the head of the righteous, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the righteous is blessed, but the name of the wicked will rot. The wise in heart will receive commands, but a prating fool will fall. He who walks with integrity walks securely, but he who perverts his way will become known. He who winks with an eye causes trouble, but a prating fool will fall. The mouth of the righteous is a well of life, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all sins. Wisdom is found on the lips of him who has understanding, but a rod is for the back of him who is devoid of understanding. Wise people stir up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. The discretion of the poor is the poverty. The labor of the righteous leads to life, the wages of the wicked to sin. He who keeps instruction is in the way of life, but he who refuses correction goes astray. Whoever hides hatred has lying lips, and whoever spreads slander is a fool. In the multitude of words sin is not lacking, but he who is restrained his lips is wise. The tongue of the righteous is choose silver, the heart of the wicked is worth little. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for the lack of wisdom. The blessings of the Lord makes one rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. To do evil is like a sport to a fool, but a man of understanding has wisdom. The fear of the wicked will come upon him, and the desire of the righteous will be granted. When the whirlwind passes by, the wicked is more, but the righteous has an everlasting foundation. As vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so is the lazy man to those who send him. The fear of the Lord prolongs days, but the years of the wicked will be shortened. The hope of the righteous will be gladness, but the expectation of the wicked will perish. The way of the Lord is strength for the upright, but destruction will come to the workers of iniquity. The righteous will never be removed, but the wicked will not inhabit the earth. The mouth of the righteous brings forth wisdom, but the perverse tongue will be cut out. The lips of righteous knows what is acceptable, but the mouth of wicked what is perverse. That is Proverbs 9:10. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless.